I'm going to show you guys some hot books that are, coming out or maybe going to be hot for the rest of the year or hot right now and all that stuff. And really what I want to hear is if I'm someone who wants to buy this book, collect for you is going to be like, yeah, buy it now. You want to buy this book? Buy it now. 10 years from now, whatever, it doesn't matter. Or 10 years from now, the price is going to be fine. Get it now. That's like whatever. Tell me forget if you think don't buy it now. It's going to correct later and you can get it at a better price when you actually, come across it. So does that kind of make sense? I kind of want to just go through and we'll kind of do this game right here. So spec, collect, forget. But of course, we're just going to do collect or forget. I'm someone who never got a Strange Tales 110. We got Doctor Strange coming up right here. This has been a super, super hot book. Drew, let me start with you on this one.
Yeah.
If Doctor Strange is my favorite character and I want this book, should I buy it now? And maybe they'll correct, but honestly, like who cares? 10 years from now, I'm going to be in the green no matter what. Or should I really, really wait? What's your thought?
I would maybe advise waiting in the short term until after the movie just to see if there is that standard kind of like 60 to 90 day drop after the fact. But if it's continuing to increase at that point, I'd say pull the trigger. It likely, with just the tier of book that it is, it's likely to continue that steady upward creep. So unless there's just that temporary dip as we kind of shuffle it to the back burner, I would say pull the trigger.
Right. Newbie, what about you? How are you feeling about this one right here?
All right, I'll say it because I don't know if anybody else will say it, but this is an ugly cover.
Oh yeah, it's awful.
I said it. Okay, I said it.
It's got Paste Pot
Pete. He's such a huge villain.
Yeah. God, it's terrible. I would forget it right now. Just like Drew said, you're literally 2 weeks away from the movie. It just doesn't make any sense. Get it later, for sure.
Okay. It's a tricky one because, what if it keeps on climbing and keeps on or holds steady? Chris, what do you think about this one? Would you, if you were going to buy Doctor Strange, would you just be like, I'm skitty today. I don't care.
Yeah, no, I mean, for the price this book's already at, I agree with Newbie and Drew. I mean, why not wait a few months? Even if it holds steady or even if it goes up $100 or something, it's like, just wait. But this is definitely a long-term collect, but forget it right now because you got all the movie hype and speculation surrounding it.
Right. Bryan, you kind of feel the same way here. I get the sense that might be your advice from previous things we talked about.
Yep. Forget for a couple months.
Yeah. And Ryan, what about you to round this one out?
Same thing.
Same forgetting. Thumbs up to forget.
Yep.
Got it. All right. Let's go on now here to this next book. Drew, we got Daredevil #9. This is the first appearance of Echo. She's got her TV show kind of coming out. This is a tough one for me to figure out. Like, I don't know if it's like, is this for real or is this like kind of one of those, what we talked about before, where the character is going to kind of disappear? What do you think with this one?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I can't really figure this one out. I think I would forget it right now. Again, with the whole not on the cover thing, you got 10 where she's on the cover, and there are a lot of those good Malieve covers that have her on them. It's just, she's a really odd character to me right now, and I think I would wait. I think, we know there's potentially a project coming up, right? Let it breathe. Let us move on. Focus on something else, and eventually people just want to get out from underneath these, and they'll come off that $125 or $150 price point it's at right now.
Right. What about you, Newbie? How you feeling on this one?
I love 10. Got to show some love to number 10. The only confusion here is I believe CGC is now putting that first Echo as issue 11. I think issue 9 is just Maya Lopez, right? So the actual like Echo is 11. But I don't know, because this is the time. This is where you want to be. When we talk about wait a few months after the show or the movie, this is where you want to be. So I mean, Raw, the prices have really dropped. So you could probably find a really good book and price for that. I'd probably try to make a deal right now, to be honest with you, because the show is slated to come out in 2023, I believe. So Not to say they're going to drop a trailer anytime soon, but we're also a month away from, halfway point of 2022. So
yeah,
casting,
they just started filming
Wow.
on this one. So.
Exactly, right? So things like that are going to start leaking out. And, let's be honest, every show other than Black Panther 2 has had things leak out. So it's just a matter of time. I think this is a perfect time to buy and make a deal for this.
Yeah. Jerno, I see you nodding. You feeling this one?
Yep. I like what Newbie said. I'm not too invested in the character myself. Yeah. So personally, for me, I'm not even worried about it. But if you really care about the character and have love for the character, I don't think it's a bad time to buy and collect this book. I think, there's obvious risks involved but we are in that kind of, time frame. There's also, like Newbie said too, there's so much around these different books in terms of, when she becomes Echo and all this, and then her first cover appearance. But I think if you love the character and you actually care, collect it. Why not? If you lose out a little bit in the long term, at least you're not putting freaking a couple G's down or something like that.
Yeah. Bryan, what do you think about this one?
I think this is a good buy right now. I think it's a time to buy right now. I'll agree with everybody that said 10. I think that cover for 10 is so good. 10 is the one with the hand on her face, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that it?
I think
no, I think you're thinking of 50.
51. 51 is the one with the hand.
Doesn't she have like a white hand
on her face on 10, right? No?
That's what I thought. I don't know. It's a great cover.
Yeah. But anyways, I would pick this up this is a good time to buy it.
For sure. Ryan, round us out here.
Yeah.
You love moderns.
I mean, so I treat it kind of like ASM Annual 16. I think getting the first time you see the character is good, whether it's the first time the character is Echo or not. I go for the first time you see the character. But I did see something. I do think it's I like everybody said, like, this is the time when you buy it. Like, it's been a few months since Hawkeye ended. That's what we've been saying all night. Wait until that time, wait till it's corrected some, and that's what it's done. It seems like it's always very hard for people to do that, though. Yeah. People really struggle with
but that's true of anything, right?
Like, at that point,
you get buying stocks low and when they're falling versus
but
when
be
they're
careful
going up.
if you're buying it raw and submitting it, because I saw someone posted recently that they submitted this book for grading, and CGC graded it and gave their book like a 7, and they said there was a huge water stain on the front. So, like, you check the grader's notes and that's what it is, and so it's like, oh god, like,
wow,
that
I should have put that in the CGC slide.
Just comical.
All right,
I've got the link. I can send it to you.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Back to Drew here. We'll kind of rapid fire through these, these rounds here. This is a book that, this is a hot book, but like, is this one ever going to correct? I feel like I'm waiting for this one to correct. I don't see it correcting. What's your thoughts on ASM 194?
It glitched out and forgot that the project Felicia Hardy was originally rumored to appear in got canceled like an entire universe ago. We've had 3 Spider-Man movies since she was supposedly going to show up. So I don't know. I think it's just one that if the character, as we've mentioned all night, if she's important to you, you're a big Felicia fan, pick it up, because it has definitely beaten the odds and has held that value it earned a few years back over an extended period of time. So I'd say if you can find that right deal, pull the trigger.
Yeah, I don't know if it's hit new highs again, but it's gotten close. Like, I mean,
it
really is a surprising book. It's like it's held very well compared to a lot of other books.
Yeah, this is a fan favorite. Newbie, if this is my favorite character, are you telling me to go buy this right now?
It's like Drew said, though, like, it's like got so many tests of time. Like, it's like, it's coming. Morbius. And it's not. So I don't know. It's Spider-Man. You can't go wrong. When she's introduced, is going to be a fan favorite. I always talk about markability. I can definitely see Halloween young ladies, dressing up like this. So I don't think there's a bad time to buy it. Just the right deal, like Ryan says. Let the right deal approach, and just go from there.
Yeah, Chris, you're nodding along.
I'm gonna state it. You guys might laugh at me. This is a Bronze Age blue chip future key, in my humble opinion. I don't care about her showing up in a TV show. That can cause some of this, but like Newbie said, I don't think there's ever a right or wrong time to buy. Again, I'm not concerned about movie hype. There's intrinsic value in this book. She is going to be a classic character for decades to come. I'm collecting this no matter what's going on or, when it is.
For sure.
Yeah.
Bryan?
Agree.
And Ryan?
Yeah, and I already said, it's a strong book, and it's the same with Morbius. Even though that movie was, got really poor reviews, like that book's really not going to probably drop a ton.
No, it's still a classic.
That Gil Kane cover is just amazing.
Yeah,
the backhanding of Spider-Man, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's talk about this little interesting spec here, Drew. Maybe we can kind of lightning round this one and get through. What's your thoughts on New Avengers 4? Is the first for Ranky? I mean, it's like the rumors, but we haven't seen the image yet. You think you should get it?
I am still buying this book. I bought one a couple weeks ago. I got a pretty good deal on it. So I think there's still room there. I mean, especially we get that first image. It's usually safe to assume we'll get a little bit of a bump. I think it's trending around $30 right now. I could see it hitting $50 between now and when the show comes out. So if you can find it for 5, 10, 20, there may still be enough meat on the bone to make it worthwhile. It's pretty low risk, I think, at that point. So even if it doesn't make the jump, you should be able to get most of your investment or your whole investment back out of it.
Right. What about you, Newbie?
Beanie Babies. This will be down after the show.
It's short term. Short term.
But what if she's? I mean, what if it's Emilia Clarke though, man? What if she takes it to the next level?
I'm gambling on Astonishing X-Men 6 for her. Still holding out on that until I see that. Otherwise, I am expecting her to play Abigail. But yeah, I just think this one is it's in the heat of the moment right now. Hot 10 list, everyone wants it, so stay away from it. And it's just, unless this is your character, which I really doubt because I've never met anybody who's said that to me, then I would stay away from it because it's going to drop.
Yeah. Jerno?
This is Las Vegas Casino all day. Forget this book unless you are willing to walk into a casino with money in your pocket with a possible short-term chance of that money increasing, or you walking out with none. Collect this book right now. If you're willing to take the risk of maybe in a month, we get an actual announcement for this character and then sell them right away. But if you're not willing to do that, forget it.
Yeah. Bryan?
No, I don't think there's any play on this character.
Yeah. Ryan, same feeling for you?
Yeah. I mean, it's a flip book, like everybody said at best.
Yeah. All right, well, let's kind of switch it up. Let's snake it here so that Ryan and Bryan can add in some extra flavor here. But I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this one, Ryan. This is a really expensive book right now. And let's say that I'm someone who really likes Submariner. Should I pull the trigger on this one, or is this one going to have its little correction?
I mean, this one, it's tough because it is very expensive right now. And if he does show up in the second Black Panther in the Wakanda movie, it is going to be an even more expensive book. But I wouldn't buy it right now. I mean, it's just, if you really like the character, I'll say, like, I just sold my Submariner 1. I had a 9.2 white pages copy and I just sold it. And I was just like, they're up a lot. It's not a book that's like super rare. If I really want to get another one, I can get another one. This one is more rare than that, but it's just so expensive. Because the way I look at it is that there are certain, the reason I ended up deciding to sell my that other Submariner is because I'm not a Submariner fan. I don't know a ton of people that are Submariner fans. There are, people are Doctor Doom fans, people are Fantastic Four fans, X-Men fans, but I hear a lot of people talking about I'm really looking, for the Submariner. And so it does feel like it kind of feels like a flip book, even though it's like it's like a big Silver Age key. Like, it feels like a flip to me, especially because of how much it has gone up over the last year. I'd be hesitant with this book.
Can I just interject with that and, grab your pitchforks, but everyone tells me about like how awesome Fantastic Four is. I don't know. I spent my entire life waiting to be blown away by Fantastic Four, and so
Fantastic Four is similar. Like a lot of people didn't like. That's why Fantastic Four #1 was it was cheap, for a pretty long time, and I mean, it's getting its due right now, and I think that's because people are expecting Marvel to actually do it well, but Submariner is still a big question mark. There's
challenge accepted, Alex. Challenge accepted.
Bryan, what about you, man? How are you feeling on this one? How would you advise me if I wanted to pick this up?
Surprisingly, I have a really nice copy of this. I have a 6.0 of this,
nice.
And I gonna say something crazy. I would rather pick up, as of right now, I would rather pick up that X-Men book. The first one was X-Men like 7 or whatever, where he shows up. 6.
Yep.
I'd rather pick up that X-Men 6 than this right now. I think that has more meat on the bone, to make some money off of it. You got him in that book becoming the first, one of the first mutants. They actually say it in there. The X-Men are definitely coming. And I agree. Fantastic Four was the box I always skipped.
Yeah. Jerno, how are you feeling on this one? What would you do with this book right here? Are you a fan of Silver Age appearances?
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting, some of the stuff that's being said about Fantastic Four. I've never been a huge Fantastic Four fan myself, but I remember years back when you looked at early, late silver to early bronze run fillers. They were some of the most priciest ones next to Amazing Spider-Man. So I always felt like, early Fantastic Four always commanded a good, decent value. But my thing with this book is I don't know how much it's increased right now. I would want to know that before I made a decision. And for me personally, I'm not looking at high grade graded books. I'll look at mid-grade raws all day long and gauge from there. But I think
you can't get a 0.5 for under $1,000 anymore. Like, that's how expensive this book is now. Like,
Chris,
you can't buy a raw under $1,000.
Chris, let me help you out with this.
Okay.
10 years ago, I bought a 3.0 for $300.
Oh my God.
What about 5 years ago?
It wouldn't have been much different. That same book has a 90-day average on GPA of $3,500 right now.
Okay.
It is absolutely detonated.
I just think I truly think that this is I think it goes beyond the movie spec again. I think that there's a lot on this because they think he's going to show up in Black Panther 2. If he shows up, or if he doesn't show up, I think this book is going to have a huge drop, similar to Silver Surfer 3 with the Mephisto, and people just said, "Oh, I'm good. I'm moving on." But
that's a good comparison. I think that is very similar to what you could see with this book.
But here's the thing with both of these books, for Mephisto and Namor. Mephisto may have not shown up in WandaVision. Namor might not show up in Black Panther 2, but they're both going to show up at some point. And they might cool off, but when they do, when they're finally here, I think it's going to dwarf what it's selling for right now. So,
but to my point of the game with the collect it or forget it. Collectors, you're buying now. Like, difficult. Are you rolling the dice to be like, hey man, like, what if he doesn't show up, and then you can swoop in on this book right after the movie?
You know what? I'll say this: if I had the money, I'm forgetting this book, because I would take that money and go buy multiple copies of any grade of some FF48s and 49s that would equal the same amount of money that I would pay for this book. So I'm forgetting this book and taking the chance that he's not going to show up in Black Panther 2.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, something similar with that. Like, I would just go buy some early Silver Age Amazing Spider-Man books, and then they'll probably go up in value too, and you can just sell them and buy the FF if it goes up later. I mean, like, the risk there just isn't worth it.
There's no way that Namor isn't showing up in Black Panther.
That
is a 99.99999%. That Huerta guy is spot on. I don't think there's any way that he doesn't show up in Black Panther.
I would collect this book. right now.
You didn't.
I would collect. I have my eBay and a bunch of things set for whenever these pop up to alert me. To Ryan's point, it's expensive. It's early Silver Age, or it's Silver Age. It's early Fantastic Four. I'm actually a big Fantastic Four fan. But to Ryan's point, if he shows up, it's easily doubled. So if you're looking at an investment, there you go. I don't think it drops though, like massively. I get books, and I always say this, every book, drops. I just don't see this one really massively dropping. And if they're going to do Namor and they're going to bring all these characters, they got to do it right. Hopefully they put more clothes on the dude, because I don't want to see a dude in a Speedo. But yeah, I think this is a nice book to have, and definitely a collect.
I like that the Family Guy clip where they've got Namor and Aquaman. They're comparing him. Basically, he's Aquaman, but he can't control fish.
This is the only redeeming factor Aquaman has.
All right, Drew, finish it out here with this book. What
yeah, I think I forget it right now, unless just Namor's your guy. But I mean, if Namor is seriously your guy, you're looking at Golden Age Submariner. Really, for that, I think. First off, mad respect for FF. Literally half of the Marvel universe as we know it came out of the first 102 issues of Fantastic Four. So just a super important run. But as far as Namor and Silver Age issues go, I think there are better values. We talked about X-Men 6. You can also even look at FF6, where you get that second Silver Age appearance of Namor, where in the first villain team up in Marvel, when him and Doom team up. That's a good book. I really like Iron Man Submariner #1. Plain old Submariner 1. There are a lot of alternatives to this book that a collector could turn to, and if your budget is what it would cost to pick up one of these things, you can build quite a pile of other great things if you pass this book up and check down to one of those other issues.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, quickly here, let's kind of lightning round so we can get through the rest of these slides here. Ryan, let's start with you on this one. Collecting this one, forgetting this one. Bye.
Yeah, forget.
Wait.
Oh, Ryan,
you said bye. You said bye.
I said bye. Yeah, buy that book.
Okay, bye. Oh, interesting. Brian, you're saying forget.
Yeah,
there's a lot of tension.
I don't like this book. I'm not a fan of this book. I like
not a fan of the character.
I like Adam Warlock as a character, or I mean, this is Adam Warlock, right?
Yeah. But him.
Yeah. But I don't like this early version of him. You know what I mean?
Would you rather get the Marvel premiere one?
I would rather get that. Yeah, I'd rather get that Starlin stuff. It's cheaper. I think it's going to have a better return on investment, but I'm not a fan of this book.
I'd buy any of them. I'd buy this one, Marvel Premiere 1, FF67, FF66, any of them.
Chris, what you thinking with this one? You're about to show us your copy. Oh, man. We'll sell my body for Warlock first. Yeah. I know you will.
I don't care if it's Warlock. Call him, call him Adam, call him Warlock. I'm all in. I'm collecting any day of the week.
Newbie?
Collect.
Yeah. And Drew, how you feeling on this one?
I'm actively selling a copy, but I have a copy for me. So I think it's a good time. I think people will buy it. I hope people will buy it because I'm going to sell mine.
Yeah. All right. Well, what about this one, Ryan? Here, Tomb of Dracula #1. Everyone's talking about Dracula, but it's like,
I forget
really
it
that many
now.
Dracula friends.
I think this one's gotten way too pricey, too quick. I'd forget it because we don't know when. It's one of those things. It's like, they're probably doing all this stuff, but we don't know when it's coming. And so when you get those big spikes and then you hear nothing for a while, you're gonna get price drops.
Yeah, Brian, what do you think?
I love this book. I love it for cover alone. I would love to find this book right now. I don't think that the Dracula stuff is necessarily going to happen. I mean, if it does, I don't think it's going to be a big enough character. Maybe a quick little thing that they talk about or something like that. But I love it for cover alone. This is just a great book.
Yeah. Chris?
Yeah, I'm saying collect because for me, again, it's not about movie spec, although I do think they're building on the horror. Bronze Age horror, especially Marvel horror, I think has a huge long-term future just because of what it means to the comic book hobby without the movies.
Yeah. Newbie?
I'm going to forget just simply because Keanu Reeves is probably going to play him. And
wouldn't that be a good thing?
Yeah, I know, but that's just what we all say, right? Anytime there's like a cast,
right,
Keanu Reeves, right?
Ghost Rider, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves.
The Beyond.
There was a point where Keanu Reeves was playing like 9 different characters. So yeah, for me, just forget. For what this book has climbed to, no.
Drew, what do you think on this one?
Right now I'm thinking, holy crap, because I just checked the sales history on a 9.8. And yeah, the 90-day average is like $12,000. I have one of the like 45 9.8s.
Wow. Oh shit!
So
Drew, you're taking us to Vegas, right?
All right,
let's go.
Yeah. I mean, dollar menu, all you guys can eat.
I can upsize my fries.
Yes.
Can I interject here? I do want to say I do think it's kind of unfair, even especially when we're looking at books like this, to simply look at the 9.8s. Because I think that's more indicative of the 9.8 craze.
It's not just the 9.8s that are way up though. Like, I mean, like it used to be like a 6.0 was like $100 book, and 6.0s are like $500 now.
This one's hard to find for less than like $400. You know, like it's like it's pretty. It's like a big key.
It's gotten really expensive.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was being selfish. I was talking about my own book because I literally just was blown away when I saw that. But I think it's an okay book. The cover's great. Neil Adams, right? Good stuff. My concern with it is I agree. I think it's really pricey. It's gotten out there quite a bit without really any good reasoning. My concern is Dracula is such a big intellectual property. Who owns the rights to that? Is that even a name that Marvel could use?
Right.
Use maybe.
I think they did use it in the third Blade movie, didn't they? Did they actually say Dracula in that one?
I don't remember.
Because that's who he fought in the third one, and I don't remember if they said Dracula or if it was something else.
Yeah,
it was a long time ago.
so to that point, maybe kind of risky. Maybe he doesn't show up in the Halloween special, and then you buy it at the end of the year.
Yeah. Okay. But no, it's definitely a book that's gone up. I've got a really beat up one in my inventory right now, and even the price on that is shocking, to me. So I don't know. I think a lot of those bronze, I guess that's really early bronze. I think that people are just checking down, trying to get all the number ones they can. Really,
I'm going to selfishly tell people to buy that Shazam 28 because. That's the book that I picked in our thing on Spec Tales. So well, buy that book so I can win the competition.
let's pick up with you, Ryan, on this one. It's like I would have put the Marvel Family book in here, but it's like no one's gonna buy that book. Like, let's be honest. So I'm just gonna say Black Adam. You feeling like now's the time to buy some Black Adam books, or are you thinking? Like,
I do actually, and I will say I do have one that's listed. So yeah, for full transparency, but I do think that if you're looking for any type of DC character to actually spec on right now, Black Adam is probably it. I mean, having the Rock behind a character is a big deal. He is a money-making machine, and he will appeal to a wide audience. So I think so.
Bryan, any love for Black Adam on your end?
Love it. Yeah, love Black Adam. I just sold my Shazam 28. I sold a 7.5. But I like the lower priced ones. I like the DC Comics Presents a lot. I love that cover. I really like the Alter Ego. I think you can get that. I mean, what are they, like $600 right now? $400 or $500.
Surprisingly affordable. Yeah. You'd think they would be more. And
that is like the true first appearance, right? After the Golden Age stuff. That came out I love the story about how Alter Ego is a fanzine. I'm a magazine collector. I'm one of those guys that loves to find the history and those type of things. And just the story about Alter Ego alone makes that book really, really cool.
Yeah. What about you, Chris? You got any love for Black Adam? Any history with the character?
Yeah, no, not personally, but I think it's solid right now. I always say, I mean, there's so much to be had with DC. I'm optimistic about what they're doing with their, live action projects as well. Love The Rock. So I don't think you can really go wrong if you're looking at these as an investment. But personally, I've never been too big on the character, but for me to be very interested in the movie because of the Rock and everything that's going on, I think that speaks to how it can be perceived by folks that weren't fans prior, that can then flock out of that movie and start wanting to buy these books then,
Yeah, I'm primed for that. I don't know anything about the character of Black Adam. Like, I've never read his history and stuff, but I'm going to go in that movie and I might become a fan, so we'll see. Newbie, what about you?
Oh, I'm definitely collecting all of it. It's still, hush hush. I do think that The Rock is gonna, kind of change DC with this role. So I'm expecting big things.
Yeah. Drew?
I agree. I think Chris had a really good point. I think this is going to be a book that was going to grow a fan base after the movie, just because nobody knows, they barely know Shazam, right? And that movie's been out for how long? And just kind of in my own experience, I don't see these books in person. I rarely see, Marvel family in general, like older Golden Age Captain Marvel stuff. But even the Shazam 28 or whatever it is, I just, in my experience, they're not readily available in person. I mean, obviously, you can go to eBay and buy them and stuff, but I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if that's a supply issue, like nobody puts them out, or maybe they're just harder to find.
Right.
They're a relatively low census count for a Bronze Age book. So.
All right. Well, last couple rounds here, and I'm going to frame this really quick in this lightning round, and I'm just going to ask in these terms. We got Into the Spider-Verse. It did get pushed, so it kind of screwed my thing here. But let's pretend Into the Spider-Verse coming out at the end of the year. This book, should I buy this before the movie or after the movie? Right now, Ryan, what do you think?
Before.
Bryan?
Before.
Chris?
Before.
Newbie?
After.
Okay. Drew?
After.
Okay. What about this one, Ryan? Should I buy this book before the movie?
That's the reprint.
I've been scammed.
I got everyone.
Let's assume that this is the non-facsimile.
God, after.
Bryan?
Sony's the only reason where I have a tough time thinking about this, because Sony is just so bad. But this book is so good, and Miles is such a great character. Everything about Miles is good. I try to get this book as fast as possible if you don't have one.
Chris?
Yep, before. Sony animated completely different than their live action. And when Miles comes to the MCU, he's going to be handled by the man, Kevin Feige.
Yeah. Newbie?
Before.
Okay. And then Drew, round us out here.
I'm going to gamble. I'm going to say after, because once this hits, there's going to be that flood that hits the market. And I think there may be a very narrow window, if you watch it, where supply might outpace demand for a second. So I'm probably talking out of my ass, but I'm going to throw it out there as a differing opinion.
Yeah. Well, you never really know, and we will definitely find out.